Hello, my YouTube friends. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. I thought I would take today and we'll do a little talk about the herbal plant yarrow. And first of all, let me show you a picture of what this plant looks like. Okay, yarrow. I have a yarrow plant in my medicinal herb garden. Right now it's dead. It is a perennial plant, and it does come back every year, at least what I was told when I planted it last year. So I'm anxiously waiting for it to green back up and come back up in the spring. But yarrow contains over 120 different compounds that have been identified so far. When a person takes yarrow as a herbal medicine, they are actually taking 120 different medicines into their body, and all of these medicines exist in powerful evolutionary balance with each other. So that's a pretty interesting thing to know about yarrow. Also, yarrow is an erect plant. That means it grows straight up tall from a spreading rhizome, it means the plant has arms, it spreads out. The plant has finely divided feathery leaves that grow along the stem, and plants grow 1 to 3 feet tall. The leaves are arranged spirally on the stems in groups of 2 to 3. Each leaf is divided into many leaflets, which are further divided into smaller leaflets. The silvery green leaves are fern-like and feathery. The flowers bloom from May to July, and each is in a cluster of 15 to 40 tiny disc flowers, surrounded by 3 to 8 ray flowers. The scent of yarrow is similar to chrysanthemums, and I love that smell. And the flowers are very long-lasting. Colors range from white to pink, yellow, and red. Yarrow is a good companion plant in a garden. It repels many garden pests while attracting beneficial insects. The yarrow that I planted has the little white flowers. You can eat the leaves raw or cooked. They're bitter and are best eaten when they're young. The plant is very nutritious. However, I don't recommend eating a lot of it because it does have blood clotting ability. So this is a plant that if you were going to put it into your diet, you can eat the leaves, the young leaves, but do it sparingly. Don't eat it every day, just once in a while. The medicinal uses are all parts of the plant can be used in a medicinal capacity. Doesn't help your speaking though, let me tell you. Stopping internal and external bleeding. Yarrow quickly stops bleeding by contracting the blood vessels and encouraging clotting. Yarrow contains anti-inflammatory and antibacterial compounds that ease swelling and promote healing. It also helps disinfect wounds. So it's a good disinfectant if you have cut, or this would be great for like a deep wound. Yarrow will quickly stop the bleeding, bind any dirt or infectious materials into the wound, so best to clean it first if possible. So if you have an open wound, a big cut, clean it first and then use the yarrow, because whatever is in that wound will be bound with the yarrow that you put to use in that wound, and you don't want to do that. Use yarrow leaves on a wound or abscess. Chop or rip the leaves finely and apply to the wound. I often carry dried yarrow powder with me for this purpose. It's part of my, I have a deep wound powder concoction that I make, And I keep the yarrow in with that because it is very beneficial. Cover the wound with a soft cloth and leave it in place. Repeat 2 to 3 times daily until the wound is healed over and the swelling is gone. Yarrow oil or tincture can be used to treat nosebleeds and other minor injuries, as can yarrow powder. Place a few drops of oil or tincture on the affected area and apply it to a tissue or cloth and place it on the wound. Bruises, sprains, swelling, and hemorrhoids. For bruises, sprains, hemorrhoids, and other swells, use a poultice of yarrow leaves or stems pounded into a paste and applied to the injured area and cover. Infused yarrow oil or salve works well for bruises, sprains, swelling, and hemorrhoid. I make a tincture with most of my herbs. I make the tincture, which is liquid, and also powder is very handy. Antibacterial and antifungal. Yarrow is a strong antibacterial and antifungal. It will heal a wound quickly. Do not use on deep puncture wounds, as it will heal it too quickly, and you want the wound to heal from the inside out. It is a great addition to a first aid salve. It's also a strong antifungal. For fevers, cold, and muscles, yarrow reduces the duration of the measles virus, colds, and fevers. It is quick to bring down a fever, and that's important to know. Either chew raw yarrow or drink yarrow tea to induce sweating and reduce the fever. An easier and more palatable method is to make yarrow into tincture form, which, like I said, is what I do. It opens the pores, encouraging perspiration, and purifies and moves the blood. Dental pain, which a lot of people are always looking for a remedy for a toothache. To reduce inflammation and relieve dental pain, chew on a fresh piece of yarrow root or yarrow leaves. In addition to its anti-inflammatory and anti-infection benefits, yarrow contains salicylic acid, a pain reliever that acts quickly. And that's important to have. If you have a lot of mouth pain or tooth pain, you want that relieved quickly, because that's not comfortable at all. Anxiety and relaxation without a sedation. Yarrow seems to reduce anxiety without a sedative effect. It has a calming effect on the central nervous system. And this could be very important to know and to have in a crisis situation, for natural disasters, to keep people calm. If you're stuck for a while someplace and you can't get help, it's best to just calm down and relax, and you can think better and make better decisions. And that's very important in a crisis situation. Harvesting. When you harvest a yarrow, you harvest it when it's young. Pick it in the spring or early summer before the flowers have been pollinated. Once the herb is dry, store it in a capped jar in a cool, dark, and dry location. Do not eat yarrow or take yarrow during pregnancy. Very important to remember. Plus, some people are allergic to yarrow. Do not use it if you are allergic to plants in the Aster or daisy family. If you develop a rash or any irritation, do not use before surgeries. Also, do not use this before you go into surgery. Even if you're anxious, this could interfere with your the medications that you're given during surgery or your anesthetics. Yarrow tea. 1 teaspoon of dried yarrow flowers or leaves in 1 cup of boiling water, and add sweetener if desired. Pour 1 cup of boiling water over 1 teaspoon of dried leaves or flowers. Cover and allow the tea to steep for 5 minutes. And then you have a medicinal tea. Yarrow Tincture. You can use fresh yarrow leaves or flowers. Use vodka, brandy, or other alcohol, and it has to be 80 proof or higher. And you chop it into small pieces, fill a jar, and you fill the jar full of the alcohol. Let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks. And what I do is I pick the jars up and shake them about once a week. So after 6 to 8 weeks, you strain the alcohol through a few layers of cheesecloth, squeeze out all the liquid, discard the herbs, label the jar, and stir your tincture in a cool, dark place. And I have ways to make yarrow oil. I'm going to make the yarrow salve in another video, and I have a recipe for that. If you contact me with my email that's in the description box, if you would like to have directions on making the tincture oil, not the tincture oil, the oil, the tincture, or the yarrow salve, and I would be happy to send those to you. And that's our little talk today on yarrow. I get a lot of my information from several different books in my library on herbals. This one I find very, very helpful. It's very simple to understand. Some of my books are like reading doctor books. I have to look up some of the terms sometimes because they're written by doctors. But this one, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, I find is, when I bought the book, I was a little bit skeptical. I saw it on Instagram and I saw it on YouTube, and I was just, I like talking to actual doctors and getting medical books and things like that. Some of these herbal remedy books are they're baloney, quite honestly. And they're old wives' tales. I wanted something that talked scientifically about the plant. I don't want the myths and the legends. I want the science part of it. And this book does fulfill that. So I highly recommend it. It's the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. It's very informative, easy to understand, and a good reference book. So that's my talk today. And I hope you've learned a little bit something about the plant yarrow and how to use it. And like I said, if you have any questions, my email address is in the description box. So I'd be happy to answer any questions or give you recipes on how to make the tinctures and the oils and everything yourself. So you guys have a great day. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope you have gotten something out of this. And start your own herb garden, your own medicine herb garden. It's a good thing to have. And the way the world is going, it might be very beneficial for you to learn about these herbs and to have your own herbal garden just in case. And I like to use my herbal medicines as often as I possibly can because it's so much better for you. It doesn't become resistant to the bacterias and viruses that are out there, whereas these synthetic drugs do. It builds up, the bacteria and the viruses build up an immunity to the synthetic drugs, and that's why, they say the flu virus mutates every year, and it does, but that's why they have to keep giving you different inoculations for the flu virus, which I don't take any of them, because by the time you get the inoculation, the virus has mutated and that inoculation doesn't work anymore. So it's kind of a moot point. Plus, some people are allergic to whatever's in the flu shots, like myself. I had a flu shot and I got deathly ill from the shot. And this is not the COVID shot. This is the regular flu shot. I will never take the COVID shot either. Too little is known about it. It was manufactured way too quickly, and it didn't meet the proper protocols for studies. So no thank you. And there's been way too many lethal side effects. But the flu shots, the regular flu shots, are relatively safe to take unless you're allergic to them like I am. But they're kind of a moot point, like I said, because by the time that shot takes effect, the virus has already mutated into something else and you're going to get sick anyway. So why take a shot in the arm if it's not going to do you any good? So anyway, you guys have a great day, and thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon. And I'm going to try to do a different medicinal herb every week, and I will be showing you how I prepare them. So we will talk to you later. You have a great week, and God bless you all.